The chains dragged closer in the darkness, slow. Metal scraping concrete. Everyone in the warehouse froze. You could hear people breathing now. Fast Wet panicked. Somebody whispered, "Please God." The lights were still completely out. All we had was sound, dragging closer, then clank. Something heavy stopped, moving directly behind me. I felt it before I saw it. Warm breath against the back of my neck. I stopped breathing entirely. A low wheezing sound came from behind my shoulder. Not human breathing, broken breathing. Like damaged lungs struggling to work, nobody moved. Nobody even cried anymore. Then the lights exploded back on. People screamed instantly. There were figures standing among us now, tall, thin, covered head to toe in black rubber aprons, stained dark red. Their faces hidden behind welded metal masks. Each carried hooks, bolt cutters, or long cattle prods crackling with electricity. They hadn't made a sound entering. One stood directly behind me. Its mask looked handmade from scrap metal. No eye holes, just tiny slits cut across where the mouth should be. It tilted its head at me slowly, studying me, then moved on. The speaker crackled cheerfully overhead. Intermission inspection. One of the masked figures grabbed a screaming man by the hair. 3 rows. Oh. No, please. The figure jammed a cattle prod into his ribs. The sound that came out of him didn't sound human. He convulsed violently while the room watched helplessly. Another masked figure walked between prisoners holding a clipboard. Actually checking things, chains, collars pulse like livestock. That realization hit harder than the deaths. We weren't prisoners, we were inventory. A masked figure stopped beside the body of the teenage girl whose head had been blown apart. It crouched calmly, then started scooping pieces of her skull into a black trash bag, methodical, like cleaning after dinner. I couldn't stop staring. The figure suddenly looked directly at me. Even without visible eyes, I knew. It knew I was watching. Slowly, it raised one bloody finger to where its lips would have been beneath the mask. SHHH, my stomach dropped. The lights dimmed again. The figures began leaving silently into enormous steel doors at the far end of the warehouse. One prisoner suddenly lunged, a young guy, maybe early 20s. He ripped at his neck collar screaming, now. He somehow slipped free enough to run. The entire room erupted shouting, "Go, run." The guy sprinted toward the open steel doorway barefoot, across bloody concrete. For one impossible second, I thought he might actually escape. Then the speaker calmly said, "Boundary violation." A sharp click echoed from his collar. The explosion painted the steel doors red. Half his body slid forward another few feet before collapsing. Silence swallowed the warehouse again, the doors shut. One of the women started laughing hysterically. Not normal laughter, broken laughter. The kind people make when their mind starts snapping under pressure. Walter leaned toward me slowly. "We need to survive long enough to learn the rules." I whispered back, "There are no rules." Walter's face looked gray under the lights. "No, there are. We just haven't seen enough yet." Round 3 began 20 minutes later. The giant screen flickered alive again. This time new words appeared. Group judgment round. The warehouse immediately became tense. A spotlight illuminated 3 prisoners at once. A skinny man in scrubs. A middle-aged woman, a teenage boy. The speaker spoke. "One among these players has lied previously." The room stirred. "Tonight, the group chooses which one dies." The 3 prisoners started panicking instantly. I told the truth. "Please don't do this." The teenage boy looked barely conscious already. The screen displayed their previous confessions. Player 3, hospital nurse accused of stealing pain medication from dying patients. Player 9, mother who abandoned her disabled husband during a house fire. Player 17. 17-year-old accused of beating another teenager to death outside a party. The room erupted into shouting. The nurse screamed first. I did steal them, but I sold them to pay for my son's surgery. The woman cried immediately. My husband was already dead. The fire spread too fast. Then the teenage boy spoke quietly. I didn't kill him. Nobody heard him at first. I hit him one time. He stared at the floor. He fell wrong. The speaker buzzed loudly. One player lied. The three stood trembling beneath the spotlight. Then the timer appeared. Choose. People immediately started arguing. The nurse is lying. No, the woman is. The kid did it. Fear spread through the warehouse because this was different now. Before we judged confessions. Now we were executioners. Walter whispered, "They are turning us against each other." The teenage boy suddenly looked toward all of us desperately. I tried helping him after he hit the ground. Tears streamed down his face. I stayed with him until the ambulance came. The nurse screamed over him, "They'll kill me anyway, please." The woman collapsed sobbing. I left him there. The countdown hit 10 seconds. The room became chaos. People slammed buttons randomly. Others refused entirely. I looked at the teenage boy again. Something about him felt real, not innocent, but human, terrified. I pressed the nurse. The countdown ended. Result player 3 selected. The nurse started screaming immediately. No, 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 wait, please wait. The speaker interrupted. Group judgment accepted. Suddenly the chains attached to the nurse's wrists yanked upward violently. Bones cracked. She screamed as her body lifted into the air. Then another chain descended from the ceiling, ending in a massive meat hook. The entire warehouse erupted in horror. The hook punched through beneath her jaw and out her mouth. Blood sprayed everywhere. Her scream became wet, choking noises. Some people turned away. Others stared frozen. The chains lifted her slowly higher while she twitched helplessly, alive, still alive. The speaker remained calm the entire time. False confession confirmed. The room froze. Walter whispered, "Oh God," the nurse had been telling the truth. The teenage boy started sobbing in relief. The woman collapsed completely. And hanging above us, the nurse slowly suffocated on the hook, while blood dripped onto the concrete below. The game didn't want justice, it wanted guilt, real guilt, shared guilt. The kind that stayed inside you forever. Then something happened that made my blood run cold. The teenage boy looked up at the dying nurse and smiled just for a second, tiny, almost invisible, but I saw it. And in that moment, I realized something even worse than the killers running this place. Some of the monsters here were chained beside us.